Peppa Pig and the library visit. It's bedtime for Peppa and George.
Could we have a story, please? Asked Peppa.
Okay, says Mummy Pig. Here's the one about the red monkey.
We always read that one,
says Peppa.
The red monkey takes a bath, brushes his teeth, and he goes to sleep. Let's choose another book instead.
Peppa goes to the bookshelf. There's a book about a blue tiger. A book about a green spider. A book about an orange penguin.
Wow!
And... Ugh, says Peppa.
What's this one?
The Wonderful World of Concrete, reads Mummy Pig. I've been looking for that, says Daddy Pig. It's a book I borrowed from the library.
What's a library?
asked Peppa. A library is a place where you can go to borrow books. When you're finished reading them, you take them back so others can borrow them, says Daddy Pig. He looks at the book. I have had this for rather a long time, Daddy Pig says.
You can return it tomorrow,
says Mummy Pig. But right now it's bedtime.
After Daddy reads the story,
Peppa insists. Daddy Pig begins to read. The Wonderful World of Concrete. Concrete is made of sand, water, and other things. Chapter 1. Sand. Sounds of snoring fill the room. Peppa and George are fast asleep. So is Mummy Pig. The next morning, Peppa and her family head to the library. Peppa can't believe how many books are on the shelves.
Look at them all,
she shouts. Shh, Peppa, says Daddy Pig. You must be quiet in the library, because people come here to read and to be quiet.
Next, please,
comes another shout. It's Miss Rabbit, the librarian.
Hello, Mummy Pig,
she says.
Are you returning these books?
Yes, Miss Rabbit. Mummy Pig gives her books to Miss Rabbit to scan, and the computer beeps as the books slide across the counter.
Why is that computer beeping?
asked Peppa. It's checking to see that you haven't been naughty and kept the book for too long. I may have kept this book for a bit too long, says Daddy Pig. Don't worry, says Miss Rabbit. Then her computer makes a loud, long beep. Daddy Pig, she shouts. You've had this book out for 10 years.
Naughty Daddy,
says Peppa. Now that Daddy Pig's book is returned, he can borrow another one. Peppa and George want to borrow books too. Miss Rabbit shows Peppa and George to the children's section.
Wow!
Ugh, says Peppa.
There are books about princesses and animals and planets.
Danny Dog and Susie Sheep are at the library too. Danny Dog is borrowing a book about soccer. Susie Sheep is borrowing one about doctors. George has chosen his book. It's about dinosaurs.
Dinosaur,
says George. Daddy Pig has found an exciting new book. Further Adventures in the World of Concrete.
But Daddy Pig,
says Peppa,
I want a fun bedtime book.
Mummy Pig pulls out a red monkey book.
Not that again, says Peppa. It's boring.
It's a different story, says Mummy Pig. Once upon a time, there was a red monkey.
I know,
says Peppa.
He had a bath, brushed his teeth, and went to sleep,
she says. No, says Mummy Pig. He had adventures.
Wow.
Oh, say the children. They all gather around to see the book. Peppa wants to hear the story. We can read it at home, says Mummy Pig.
But I already chose a book about a princess,
says Peppa. Then she sees another book about birds.
That book looks interesting too.
Wow.
Miss Rabbit has good news for Peppa.
You can take up to 3 books home if you'd like.
Hooray!
Yippee, says Peppa. You just have to remember to bring them back on time,
says Miss Rabbit.
And that goes for you too, Daddy Pig.
Peppa laughs.
I'll make sure he remembers. I want to come back to the library all the time. I love the library.
Back at home, it's bedtime. Mummy Pig opens the new red monkey book. Once upon a time, there was a red monkey. He jumped in a space rocket and went to the moon.
The moon,
says Peppa.
What an adventure.
Mummy Pig turns the page. He had a picnic with a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Says George. Then the red monkey swam under the sea. Mummy Pig turns the last page. Finally, he climbed the highest mountain. That was a busy day.
I think Daddy Pig agrees,
says Peppa. Everyone looks. Daddy Pig is fast asleep. The end, whispers Mummy Pig. Sounds of Daddy Pig's snores fill the room. Everyone laughs. What a fun day. The end. Peppa loves. Peppa loves her best friend, Susie Sheep.
I wish my tail was soft and fluffy like yours,
says Peppa.
I like your tail, Peppa,
giggles Susie.
It's cute and curly.
Peppa loves dressing up.
Wow.
Look at me,
cries Peppa.
I'm a dancing fairy princess. Oh, your wings are really shimmery and shiny,
says Nurse Susie. Peppa loves her golden boots. If you jump in muddy puddles, you must wear your boots, laughed Daddy Pig.
My golden boots sparkle and glitter,
says Peppa proudly.
I'm going to make the biggest splash ever.
Peppa loves bath time.
Quack, quack,
cries Peppa.
Little duck, your wings are so smooth and bright. Quack, quack,
giggles George.
Splash.
Bonk, bonk. Peppa loves her teddy. Time to go to sleep, Peppa and George, whispers Mummy Pig.
Good night, Teddy,
sighs Peppa.
You're so cuddly and furry. Night, night.
The end. Peppa Pig and the Vegetable Garden. Peppa Pig and her little brother George are playing at Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig's house. They love to help Grandpa Pig in the garden.
What are you doing, Grandpa Pig? Asked Peppa. I'm planting seeds. What happens to the seeds? They grow into plants. I make a small hole in the ground, put the seed inside and cover it with earth. Then I water it. Everything in my garden grows from seeds like this.
Wow.
Ouch, says Grandpa Pig. An apple fell on his head. Peppa and George laugh. Grandpa laughs too. Look, he says, inside the apple are more seeds. To grow more apple trees, says Peppa. I want to plant a seed, Peppa says. She makes a little hole and puts a seed in it. Then she covers the seed with earth. Grandpa lets her water it. Now we wait for it to grow, he says. Peppa waits. George waits. They wait and wait and wait. It's not doing anything, says Peppa. Grandpa Pig laughs. You have to be patient. Ah! What's this? Says Peppa. It's a monster.
Monster.
Says George. Grandpa Pig laughs. It's just a little snail. Arr, says George. Monster. He likes a snail. Let's play snails, says Peppa. Grandpa Pig finds some baskets for Peppa and George, and they play snails in the garden. Look, says Peppa, a butterfly. Why do butterflies love flowers? They drink from flowers, says Grandpa Pig.
Wow.
They drink the flower's nectar. It's their food. Look at me, I'm playing butterfly, Peppa shouts. George wants to be a butterfly too. No, George, I am a butterfly. You can play worm. George doesn't want to play worm. Come on, George, says Grandpa Pig. Playing worm is fun. Grandpa Pig shows George how to lie on the ground and wiggle. Soon Peppa wants to play worm too. Grandpa plants some more seeds. He drops them on the ground. But when he turns around, a little bird is eating them. Shoo, shoo, says Grandpa. Granny Pig comes to see. We need a scarecrow, she says. Grandpa Pig brings Peppa and George to his garden shed. We'll find lots of things in here to make a scarecrow with, he says. He finds sticks, string, some straw, and an old sack. They build the scarecrow, then dress it in some old clothes. Peppa and George paint a face. The birds see the scarecrow. They stop eating Grandpa's seeds. The birds look sad, says Peppa. They must be hungry. Granny Pig brings out a bird feeder. Lunchtime, birds, she calls. Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig have come. Granny Pig needs blackberries to make a pie for lunch. Everybody wants to help. This blackberry bush has been here since I was a little girl, says Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig climbs a ladder to get to the berries at the top. Oh no! Mummy Pig falls into the bush. Where is she? Mummy Pig is okay, but she looks like a berry bush. Peppa and George pick berries from the mummy bush. Grandpa Pig, Peppa and George finish picking vegetables for lunch.
Hooray!
They make a salad. Granny Pig cuts up a cucumber. I love cucumbers, says Peppa. Yuck, says George. He doesn't like salad. Grandpa has an idea. He gives George a new plate.
Dinosaur.
Says George. He eats the salad. He likes it. He loves Granny Pig's blackberry pie too. Yum! The end. Peppa Pig. Away we go. On the road. There is a lot to do in Peppa's town. Daddy Pig, Mummy Pig, Peppa and George drive around town in their car. In the shop.
Wow.
Mr. Fox sells lots of fun things in his shop. Peppa would like to buy one of everything, please. At the construction site, Mr. Bull and his crew fix a pipe under the road. They dig the biggest hole that Peppa has ever seen. At the aquarium. The pig family visits the aquarium to see lots of different fish. Peppa wishes that she could swim like a fish. At the sports centre. Exercise is extra fun when you do it with friends. Peppa loves to jump on the trampoline. At the petting farm. Peppa wants to pet the fuzzy guinea pigs. Mrs. Badger tells Peppa she must wash her hands first. Inside the museum. The dinosaur room is George's favourite part of the museum. George likes to stomp and roar just like a dinosaur. At the pottery studio. Mrs. Zebra shows Peppa how to make a bowl out of clay. Peppa just wants to squish the clay between her fingers. After it rains, the children's festival is very muddy.
Hooray!
Peppa likes to dance with her friends. Everyone loves muddy puddles. At home. Peppa thinks about more places she can visit tomorrow. But first, Peppa and George need to go to sleep. The end. Peppa Pig, Doctors. It is playtime. Peppa and Pedro Pony are playing in the garden when they hear a squeak from up in a tree.
What's that noise?
Asked Pedro. He looks up and gasps.
It's Tiddles the tortoise. Don't worry, Tiddles. We can get you down. I'll just shake this tree and...
Whoosh! Tiddles falls from the tree and bumps Pedro's nose on the way down.
Ouch!
Shouts Pedro. Madame Gazelle comes to help. Oh dear, what happened? She asks.
Tiddles fell on Pedro's nose,
says Peppa. Madame Gazelle calls the doctor. Dr. Brown Bear hurries over. "Where is the patient?" he asks.
My nose hurts,
says Pedro. Dr. Brown Bear gives Pedro a green plaster for his nose. "That will make it better," says Dr. Brown Bear.
Hooray!
my glasses fell in the mud, says Pedro.
"You'll need an optician to fix them," says Dr. Brown Bear. The optician arrives. It is Dr. Pony. He is Pedro's daddy.
Can you please read this chart for me, Pedro? Says Dr. Pony. I can't see, my glasses aren't working, says Pedro.
Dr. Pony spots the problem. These glasses just need a good clean, says Dr. Pony. He carefully wipes away the mud and gives the clean glasses back to Pedro.
I can see again, says Pedro.
Hooray!
Thank you, doctors. Everything is back to normal, says Madame Gazelle. But Tiddles needs helping too, cries Peppa. Can you doctors help a tortoise in trouble? Asks Madame Gazelle. I'm afraid not, but we know someone who can, replies Dr. Pony. I'll call them now.
Dr. Hamster the vet arrives.
Tiddles fell out of the tree,
Pedro tells Dr. Hamster.
Tiddles, you little pickle,
says Dr. Hamster. She flips him over so he can stand up again. All of a sudden, Dr. Elephant the dentist appears.
Hello, I heard there was an emergency. Are everyone's teeth okay?
He asks.
Yes, thank you,
everyone answers. Dr. Elephant sets off on his way.
My car won't start,
cries Dr. Elephant. None of the doctors know what to do.
I know who to call, says Madame Gazelle. Grandad Dog's breakdown service.
Grandad Dog arrives. He opens up the car bonnet and has a look. Right, now try the engine, he says. Dr. Elephant's car has been fixed.
Hooray!
Grandad Dog is a car doctor,
cheers Peppa. There are doctors for everything, even cars. Everyone loves doctors. The end.
Hi kids, did you have fun watching this video? Then like and subscribe for more.